Okay, so welcome to the back 10 here at Cottage Hill. We just got finished playing the front 9 where I got a -4. So that was a pretty good run. I only had 1 bogey. So I had like 5 birdies or something, a few pars mixed in there as well. Really, really good start. But again, this one of the course gets a bit harder, though not quite yet. Hole 10 here, pretty similar to some of the other holes I've thrown already, just a little bit more of an obstacle in the way with that big tree down there. I'm gonna go at it with my Lucid X Warden, just try to pump it straight, have it high to the left a bit, and hope that I give myself a chance. I actually don't know where that wound up. I definitely turned it over way too much. I wanted the slide turn over to push to the right side of the fairway and then have it come back left, but I did it way too much. So it's way down there somewhere, but I have no idea where. This is gonna be interesting. So actually I didn't really get that far up at all. I actually got caught by some trees here on the right-hand side. So I have a pretty decent sized approach shot to get up to the basket for a par save. It's gonna be difficult. We'll see if we can get it done though. And that forehand is parked for the par, so I did save it. We stay at -4. All right, so we didn't get the birdie on the last hole like I really wanted to. You obviously always want birdies, but I was at least able to save the par. And now we have like a really touchy shot coming up next. It's not far at all. It's only 240 feet here on hole 11, but it's a really tight tunnel. There is not much room for error. I think I'm gonna try to put a forehand down there that'll hopefully drift a bit to the left as it passes the red tee sign and then comes back to the right towards the basket. It's my best chance at getting up there. Oh, that was looking so good, but then I hit a tree because it went a little too low and drifted it a little bit too much to the left. It was looking so good. Thought I really was about to get up there and park it for the birdie, but now I'm gonna have to work really hard for it. So yeah, dudes, I basically hit the last tree I had to miss, which was this one right here in the center, and it kicked it to the left over there by that log, which gave me a really far birdie putt. But we'll see if maybe we can work some magic here. If not, hopefully we can at least make sure we get out of here with the par. Have to straddle out. Not the best straddle putter. This is not great. Oh, that's a par. All right, so now we get to one of the really hard holes here at Cottage Hill. This is hole 12. It is 352 feet from the white tee. It kind of doglegs to the right a bit, and then it straightens back out towards the left once you get way down the fairway towards the basket, which you obviously can't see any of that here. It's a blind shot in that regard. So what I have to do is kind of flex an overstable disc to make it ride right, but then I need it to straighten out and go to the left at the end of its flight. So I'm gonna try to force over a Sargent, push it straight, have it go right, and then hopefully do what it needs to do when it gets down the fairway a bit to at least set me up for a par approach. Birdieing this hole is pretty much out of the question for me. On second thought, I'm actually gonna throw the X3. It's a little bit more overstable, so I can flex it a little bit better. Especially with this headwind I'm getting, although the wind doesn't phase you as much in the woods. And while switching to a more overstable disc, I didn't flex it enough, so I wound up going left way earlier than I needed to. I'm in a lot of trouble. We can actually walk up the fairway a bit so I can try to describe it better. So that's where we started. You ride straight, and then if you look way down there through all those trees, you can see a little hint of blue maybe. Let's see if I can find it. Maybe coming this way. There's the basket. So you really have to travel right, like I said, and then straighten out. But I didn't flex it enough, so I'm way up in this mess. So here I am, way off to the left, as I said. There's my disc standing up. I am just way off to the left. I did not flex that disc enough. It straightened out and went left way too soon. You can see the basket's up there, and it's not that far distance-wise, but there's just so much stuff in my way that I'm gonna have a hard time trying to navigate through all that. I'm just gonna try to go for a flex forehand. Just get it out into the fairway, take my medicine a bit, and just set up for the bogey. That might have been really good actually for a par save. I don't know. I have to wait till we get up there. That actually looked way better than I thought it was going to be. So yeah, this shot was about the best I could have hoped for based on the situation I was in. It's still going to be a really tough par save putt. It's a decent distance, but hopefully we can clutch it up here and save the par, which would be astounding considering how bad my drive was. Big putt, big par save. Okay, so we're on to one of the easier holes on the back nine, one of the few. This is hole 13, 220 feet or so. Pretty straightforward. Just got to get straight and then have it come left, right where I need to get under the basket for a birdie. I'm gonna go with the zone on a flex to try something different and unique. That's really good. That was a great shot. It is right next to the basket. This is a easy birdie tap in. All right, so now we're at hole 14. It is 360 feet. Yeah, dog legs to the right. There's no way to see the basket from here. You can either throw a forehand that stays like really right and straight. You could either throw a flex backhand with an overstable disc, have it go right, then straighten back out and come back left a little bit. Or you can throw an understable backhand and just have it flip over and ride right for the majority of the flight and then be straightened out at the end. So a little bit of different options here. Not 100% sure what I'm gonna do just yet. I'm kind of thinking about it. This is one of the more difficult holes for me, similar to the one we played a couple of holes ago that I got like the par save on, where it's a difficult shot to execute. Really tight fairway on that right-hand side to get to the basket. So I'm actually gonna try the forehand with the X3, just have it go right. Hope for the best. Well, that was too high and it didn't go very far, but it kicked, I think, back onto the fairway, so at least have an approach. So indeed, I didn't do great off the tee, but at least my disc kicked back into the fairway, though it is behind a tree, so it makes things a bit tough. I'm not really sure what I'm gonna do here. So upon further review, I think I'm gonna go ahead and do a turnover with the backhand. I think it's the easier play for me. I'm gonna use a Claymore understable mid-range, just try to roll it over. That's what we call a patent pending stance. I'm gonna swing out and go across my body and try to get it right to the right. I got up there, but I think I chose too fast of a disc and I actually blew past the basket, so I'm probably gonna be getting a bogey here. All right, so we're walking up to the hole and I definitely juiced my disc way past the basket. It is way down there. So we got a long comeback putt for par and it's gonna be a doozy. I'll leave the camera here so you can watch it from this angle. We're doing pro videographer stuff here. All right, so this by far is the most difficult hole on the course. It's not even close in my opinion. This is hole 15. It's about 430 feet from the white tee up to the basket. It is something where you have to go really straight to get up to where the red tee is. I'll actually walk you through this fairway because it's really tough. Hopefully no one's getting murdered over there. But anyway, you have to push straight and then it dog legs really hard to the right. So some type of flex forehand where you can get it to ride left and then go right is probably the way to play. And so that's what I'm gonna try to go for here. Not sure if I'm gonna do the X3 or the Raider, but we're gonna try to at least make some progress at the fairway. I have taken massive numbers on this hole. I'm talking huge numbers. So hopefully all those birdies I got earlier were kind of a cushion to help me get through this hole, at least not completely wrecked on the score. We'll go with the X3. Basically got to hit like a 5-foot gap between those two trees. And I did. Oh, baby. That might be my best throw ever on this hole. So here, I'm gonna walk you up this fairway. Sorry for the shaky cam, I'm just using a normal tripod. Again, filming by myself for the first time. Might need to try to get a stabilizer or something. But as you can see, as you get up here, you basically have to get between these two trees right in front of me. This is really the only gap there is, unless you somehow go to the left side and swing back right. So there's a little bit of room for error over there. And then once you get up here, you really need to kind of keep straight. Otherwise, you might go right into all this mess. This is wood golf at its finest, right here. Then it opens up as you get to about here. Now you have a little bit more room for error once you get up to about this spot. It gets a little bit more open. And there's the red tee. So the red tee for amateurs and like recreational players and stuff is right there. So this is how it starts to dog leg right. So I've been walking straight this whole time this direction. Then it just dog legs to the right, way up there. There's the red tee. And my disc landed right there. Holy cow. What a, just, again, I've never had to drive that good. The only real issue with it, and I'm not complaining because this is still really good, is it's behind that tree right there. So it's gonna make approaching the basket really tough. I might have a step out forehand I can do, but more than likely I'm gonna have to do some type of backhand turnover shot like I did with the blue claymore in the previous hole when I juiced it past the basket. But I'm gonna have to be a lot more calculated this time, obviously. The other big thing is that there's a big downhill behind and to the right of the basket. And that can really make your comeback putt a tough one if you go too far. So you have to really make sure that you be real careful with it. I think I'm gonna go with the step out backhand, patent pending. Just do it better this time. Oh man, that was a beauty. So you see what I'm talking about. Coming from that way, basket's here, downhill drop off, pretty severe. But we did good and landed right where we needed to have a good chance for a par putt, which I can't believe those words are coming out of my mouth on this hole. There's the par. All right, so now we're at hole 16. It is an interesting downhill hole, 250 feet. Actually, I'm gonna go with the EMAC Truth. Give that a shot. Haven't thrown it much today. Oh boy. I got mega lucky there. I yanked that thing, but I got a nice kick back into the fairway. That is incredibly lucky. So yeah, that shot was pretty miserably bad. I may have only made it maybe 75, 100 feet up the fairway right there on the left-hand side. I got a good kick at least to get back in the fairway. I got really lucky. I didn't deserve that. Deserved to be in the woods, but see what we can do. Wow, this hole's tearing me up. So I got a pretty decent length par putt that has to also go around a tree. So this is gonna be a toughie. I don't really deserve a par on this hole though, to be fair. Yeah, that's gonna be a bogey, but that's what I deserve really off the tee. So here we go, hole 17, 220 feet, dead straight, but obviously a tight fairway like most of them are at this course. Just gonna try to pump something straight down there, try to give myself a bit of a chance. I'm actually gonna do a standstill. Release it straight. That might be a birdie. Probably should start doing standstills on the last couple of holes. It's definitely short enough to where I can, and probably have a better release if I wasn't throwing footwork in on a short tee pad I was not comfortable on. So yeah, let's get up here and see what we did. I think this might be a tap in. Flew really nice. Again, I should really be doing standstills on some of these 200, 220 foot holes, especially with the short tee pads. So yeah, real nice, right next to the basket. That's another birdie to add. Really helps out with that bogey I just took, kind of cancels it out. And so I think our score is actually going great. It might be my best. All right, we're gonna end it on 18, 216 feet, pretty much dead straight. Really only have to worry about that tree that they recently had to cut down. It actually came down during a storm. They had to clear it out. You can see the kind of tall stump I'm talking about to the right of the basket. So pretty much just have to get around that or get over that to get to the basket. Right up there. All right, so let's try to finish this thing out with a birdie. Well, as you saw, I choked the birdie putt there, so we end with a par, which really wanted to end strong with the birdie, but it was still a really good run at this course, especially getting that par on the really difficult hole a few ago with that forehand with the X3. I think that was 14 or one of those holes, 15. Can't remember exactly the number, but that was huge for me. Personal best on that hole for sure by a long shot. But yeah, again, if you enjoyed the content, please follow up, subscribe, ring the bell, comment, share. Just trying to build this channel up and have more content coming at you real soon. But again, thanks for tuning into this one. Catch you next time here at Dustin Disc.